Call the business session of the September 5th, 2023 meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. All council members are present, although Councilmember Borders stepped out for a moment. Welcome to all of our guests and visitors. We provide an opportunity for the public to address the City Council on any agenda item or during the hearing of visitors portion of the agenda. On items other than the public hearings, speakers will be allotted one 3-minute presentation, regardless of the number of agenda items the speaker wishes to address. If you're here to speak and have not filled out a speaker card, a registration card, please see the city secretary staff at the registration table outside of the auditorium so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts, please let us know at the beginning of your presentation, and staff will distribute those to council. And if you're unable to approach the podium due to physical limitations, a microphone is available to be brought to you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first item of business is to consider the minutes of the August 15th, 2023 special city council meeting and regular city council meeting, and the August 29th, 2023 special meeting of the City Council. These minutes were provided to you in your meeting packet. Are there any corrections?
Nope.
If not, those minutes will stand approved as submitted. And the next item to consider is a special proclamation recognizing by the City Council Team Waco medal winners from the 2023 Texas Amateur Athletic Federation Games of Texas, and I'm going to meet the Team Waco winners at the podium.
All right, let's go, winners.
If you want a medal, go ahead and come on up.
Right? Like, what that mean?
For the record, if you won a medal, you are a winner.
That's right.
All right, it's my honor to recognize. I believe we have 4 medal winners here, but maybe we're missing one. Is everybody here? Okay. Well, here's the names that I have. We have Rogelio Enriquez, Nicholas Kaling, Joseph Williams, and Landon Winston. So I would like to give these guys a round of applause right now. Winning these types of competitions takes a lot of work, dedication, and tenacity. It doesn't come by accident. I think that it's not only about having the athletic ability, but it's also about having the character to work hard. And I'm sure that the lessons you learned in this competition were meaningful, and I hope that it carries you forward for the rest of your days. So it's been my honor to celebrate this with you, and our council celebrates this with you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, do y'all want to say any words? All right.
I will just add a special thanks to our staff, our athletics coordinator, Cynthia Sims. This was one of our long-running programs, and our program manager, Susan Krause, who's here tonight. Andrea and Lindsay in the background. So if you don't know, the summer track program had a record number of participants this year of over 400 youth. They train with local, not only college athletes and high school coaches throughout the summer at the Hart-Patterson track. And we've just built a robust program. It's a great activity, and we appreciate the support. And thank you to the families that came out tonight. Thank y'all.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Next, we will consider Resolution 2023-638. Is there a motion on this?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Aye. Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Meek.
Yes. That motion carries, and we'll move to public hearing 2023-639. Is there a staff member that's gonna have any, okay. Are there any questions for staff? Then we'll open a public hearing for comments. Is there anyone here to speak on this item?
I believe, if I may, just open it by saying this is a public hearing to receive comments on the proposed tax rate of 0.75500 per $100 valuation for the City of Waco fiscal year 2023-2024, which includes 0.140591 per $100 valuation to pay debt service and 0.614409 per $100 valuation to fund maintenance and operation expenditures.
I had a script and it got pushed to the side. I apologize. Thank you. Thank you for that, Jennifer. Are there any questions for staff? So we've opened a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? All right, I'll close the public hearing. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 0.755000, consisting of 0.140591 to pay debt service and 0.614409 to fund maintenance and operation expenditures per $100 valuation, which is effectively a 14.48% increase in the tax rate.
Second.
Second, any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield,
Yes.
Rodriguez. Holmes. Borderoux.
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, that motion carries. And I believe we'll have a second reading for this matter. Do I need to read my script for that again? Okay.
We could just have that motion made again.
Is there a motion?
Take the same motion verbatim. Okay. Mayor, I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 0.755000, consisting of 0.140591 to pay debt service and 0.614409 to fund maintenance and operation expenditures per $100 valuation, which is effectively a 14.48% increase in the tax rate.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
Holmes. Borderoux. Ewing, Meek.
Yes, that motion carries, and we'll move to public hearing 2023-640.
Honorable Mayor and Council, this is a public hearing to consider an ordinance approving and adopting an updated service and assessment plan, including the assessment roll and assessment map for the Waco Tourism Public Improvement District, or Waco TPID, for fiscal year 2023-24. This is the first reading. The board met for the Waco Tourism Public Improvement District on July 19, 2023, and voted to recommend to the City Council an updated service and assessment plan for the Waco TPID, including an assessment roll for fiscal year 2023-24. The Waco TPID board based its budget on the following revenues and expenditures. Waco TPID assessment collection, $1,457,100. The proposed expenditures of Waco TPID's budget are as follows. Marketing, 45%, $655,695. Sales, 40%, $582,840. Tourism research, 8%, $116,568. Administration, $7,000, $101,997. Total $1.457,100. The assessment plan for the fiscal year 2023-24 remains much the same as last year. The Waco TPID is made up of hotel properties in the city limits of Waco with 75 or more hotel rooms. These properties pay a 2% assessment on their occupied rooms for the purpose of generating funds to market and promote Waco as a convention and tourism destination. The total budgeted cost of the expenditures are in the amount of $1,457,100, all of which will be funded by assessments collected on taxable hotel room night revenues. Thank you.
Are there any questions for staff? We'll open a public hearing for comment. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? If not, we'll close the public hearing and I'll ask for a motion.
Move for approval. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
Holmes.
Aye.
Borderoux. Ewing,
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, the motion carries, and we'll move to public hearing 2023-641.
Honorable Mayor, members of council, this is a public hearing to consider an ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending various sections of Chapter 28 zoning of the Code of Ordinances for the purposes of adding a definition for agricultural operations and allowing agricultural operations as permitted use in all zoning districts in order to comply with revisions to Texas Agriculture Code, Chapter 251, per House Bill 1750 of the 88th regular session, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. By a vote of 11-0, the Plan Commission recommended approval of the amendments as proposed.
Are there any questions for staff? We'll open a public hearing for comment. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? If not, we'll close the public hearing and I'll ask for a motion.
Move for approval?
Motion is second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Rodriguez. Holmes. Borderoux.
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Meek.
Motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-642.
An ordinance amending the project and financing plan for reinvestment zone number 1 for tax increment financing, City of Waco, Texas, pursuant to Chapter 311 of the Texas Tax Code, determining that the plan is feasible, containing findings and provisions related to the foregoing subject, authorizing the city manager to execute any documents necessary in connection therewith, providing an effective date, providing a savings clause, and finally determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on August 15, 2023.
Are there any questions for staff? Ask for motion.
Second reading.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Fairfield, Rodriguez. Holmes. Ewing,
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, that motion carries. Next, I'll move to the consent agenda, which consists of resolutions 2023-643 through 683. Michelle, are there any affidavits of substantial interest?
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Borderoux filed an affidavit for 645 and 647.
Okay. So, what we'll do is we'll do resolution 2023-645. Is there a motion on this resolution?
Move for approval.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Rodriguez. Holmes. Ewing,
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, that motion carries. We'll move to resolution 2023-647. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Fairfield, Rodriguez. Holmes. Ewing,
Yes.
Yes, that motion carries. Next, we'll move to the consent agenda, which includes resolutions 2023-643 through 683, with the exceptions of 645 and 647. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Move to approve.
Second?
Second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Fairfield. Rodriguez. Holmes. Borderoux. Ewing, Meek.
Yes, that motion carries. And we'll move to ordinance 2023-684.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Waco, Texas, approving a negotiated settlement between the Atmos City Steering Committee, ACSC, and Atmos Energy Corp. Midtech Division Company regarding the company's 2023 rate review mechanism filing, declaring existing rates to be unreasonable, adopting tariffs that reflect rate adjustments consistent with the negotiated settlement, finding the rates to be set by the attached settlement tariffs to be just and reasonable in the public interest, approving an attached exhibit establishing a benchmark for pensions and retiree medical benefits, requiring the company to reimburse ACSC's reasonable rate-making expenses, determining that this ordinance was passed in accordance with the requirements of the Texas Open Meetings Act, adopting a savings clause, declaring an effective date, and requiring delivery of this ordinance to the company and ACSC's legal counsel. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on first reading.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Fairfield. Rodriguez. Holmes. Borderoux.
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, the motion carries, and we'll move to ordinance 2023-685.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco be amended by revising sections 18-68 and 18-69 and Chapter 18 Personnel, Article 3, Division 1 of said code. For the city manager is authorized to adopt and execute a meet and confer agreement with the Waco Police Association governing wages, benefits, working conditions, and operation of the Waco Police Department until such contract expires on September 30th, 2026. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing a severability clause, providing a savings clause, providing for inclusion in the code, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Approval?
Any discussion?
I just want to say on this one and the next one, which is basically our police settlement with the police, the meet and confer with the police association and the fire collective bargaining agreement with the fire department. Public safety is such an important part of Waco, and I think these are 3-year terms out on these deals, and we appreciate the work of our chiefs. This is just, it's a great moment here because we've got the best police department, the best fire department in the United States. So let's keep it up, and I'm glad we get you hooked up for 3 more years.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
That's right. I agree with that completely, and I thank you for all of the staff's work to get us to this point. All right, motion and, any further discussion? Please pull the council.
Fairfield. Rodriguez.
Aye.
Holmes. Boderoux. Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, that motion carries. Next, we have ordinance 2023-686.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending sections 1866 and 1867 in Chapter 18 Personnel, Article 3, Division 1 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the city manager is authorized to adopt and execute a collective bargaining agreement with Local 478 of the International Association of Firefighters governing wages, benefits, working conditions, and operation of the City of Waco Fire Department until such contract expires on September 30th, 2026. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing a severability clause, providing a savings clause, providing for inclusion in the code, finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law, and declaring an emergency. I'm sorry, we're not declaring an emergency here. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Fire department's going to answer that one.
Not an emergency tonight, so this comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on first reading?
Second, any discussion? Please
Glad
pull
we
the
got it done.
Please pull the council.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
Holmes.
Aye.
Boderoux.
Yes.
Ewing. Meek.
Yes, that motion carries. I'll move to ordinance 2023-688.
87.
Sorry about that.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending Section 18-87 in Chapter 18 Personnel, Article 3, Division 2, Classification and Pay Plan of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the city manager is authorized to adopt and execute an increase for police field training officer assignment pay, providing a savings clause, providing for inclusion in the code, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Please pull the council.
Fairfield. Rodriguez.
Aye.
Holmes.
Aye.
Boderoux. Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, that motion carries, and we'll move to ordinance 2023-688.
An ordinance amending Section 16-65 Defense to Violations, Nature of Offense of Division 3 Weeds and Wild Growth of Article 2 Unsanitary or Unsightly Matter, Weeds and Rubbish of Chapter 16 Nuisances of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas, for the purpose of complying with revisions to Texas Agriculture Code, Chapter 251 per House Bill 1750 of the 88th Legislative Regular Session, providing a severability clause, providing a savings clause, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinance in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on first reading.
Second.
Second, any discussion? Please pull the council.
Fairfield.
Yes.
Rodriguez. Holmes. Boderoux. Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, that motion carries, and we'll move to ordinance 2023-689.
An ordinance revising Section 26-16 of Article 2, City Provided Utilities of Chapter 26 Utilities of the Waco Code of Ordinances to reduce the time period required to establish an acceptable credit rating for service deposit reimbursement and to require a deposit for residential service applicants in default status. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, providing for an effective date, and finally determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Approval.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes? Borderoux? Ewing?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes, that motion carries. And we'll move to ordinance 2023-690.
An ordinance amending Section 5-32 of Article 2 Animal Welfare Board of Chapter 5 Animals of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas, regarding the composition of the board, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes?
Aye.
Borderoux? Ewing?
Yes.
Meek?
Carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-691.
An ordinance amending Section 2-52B, Section 2-53A, and Section 2-53D of the Division 5 Waco Convention Center and Visitors Bureau Commission and Article 2 Boards, Commissions, Committees of Chapter 2 Administration of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date, and finally determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on first reading.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes? Borderoux? Ewing?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes, that motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-692.
An ordinance amending the division name in Section 2-63, created composition of Division 6 Veterans Affairs Advisory Board of Article 2 Boards, Commissions, Committees of Chapter 2 Administration of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas, pertaining to the name and composition of the Veterans Affairs Advisory Board, providing a severability clause, providing a savings clause, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date, and finally determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor, as this came from the board as a recommendation, I move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes? Borderoux? Ewing?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the hearing of visitors. During the hearing of visitors section of the agenda, we provide an opportunity for the public to present any concerns or address issues that are not matters for consideration listed on the agenda item. Council is unable to conduct discussion, but will listen, ask staff to look into concerns, and follow up, and provide follow-up. Please provide registration information so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts at the beginning of your presentation, let us know and staff can distribute those to council. And if you're unable to approach the podium due to physical limitations, a microphone is available to be brought to you. Is anyone present who would like to speak during the hearing of visitors? Seeing no one, we will close the hearing of visitors. And are there any announcements that council would like to make?
Briefly, Mayor, I wanted to give a big old shout out to our favorite attorney, Jennifer Ritchie, today on her birthday. God bless. Happy birthday, Jennifer.
Didn't want to spend my birthday any other way.
But you wouldn't say that under oath, you know? And I would say too, though it was sad that we shut down the Creekside on the Brazos tailgate this year, I did have the fortunate experience not to watch the terrible game that went down on the field, but to take Waco Transit to and from McLean Stadium. So big shout out to Waco Transit. Wonderful McLean Stadium shuttle service experience for the Borderoux family.
Just point of information, Mayor. This Thursday, I'll be reading a proclamation to celebrate Guama's 10th anniversary. So it's Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy, and we're proud to have them in District 1, and I'm glad to be there to be able to celebrate with them on this milestone anniversary.
It's really great to see the proactivity and thoughtfulness that we're deploying now, but have been deploying now for a decade to really ensure that our kiddos have as much opportunity as possible. Any other announcements or requests for future agenda items? If not, then we will adjourn this meeting at 6:28.